this particular diamond shape numbers pattern. So how to print that I will explain in this video. So basically I am using Java language. I have created one class pattern program, and inside this class we have one main method. And to print this particular pattern we need four different variables. So we have first one is int row. What is this row? Row is equal to 7. So we are printing this diamond pattern in 7 rows. If you see the 4, then these are 3, so these are total 7 rows. That's why I have taken row is equal to 7. Then int num is equal to 1. So what it means? So in on the first row we are printing one only one times, then 2 3 times. So this count will be increased with the help of this num variable. So initially on the first row we have only one, so that's why I have taken num is equal to 1. Then space is equal to 3. So when we compare the space with respect to this the highest like digits row, then we can see that there are total three spaces. Like here it's one, here it's two, here it these are three spaces. That's why I have taken space is equal to 3 and digit is equal to 1, which means initially we have 1, then 2, then 3, 4, then 3 to 1. So to change this number we are using digit variable is equal to 1. Initially it's 1, so that's why it will be 1. Then we have for loop. So this outer for loop will be will execute, and in each execution it will print for the first iteration it will print 1, for the second iteration it will 2 2 2, then for the third iteration it will be like this, then for the fourth iteration it will be like this, then for the fifth, sixth, seventh, so all these iterations that will be printed. Okay, so here int I is equal to 1, I less than or equal to a row I plus plus. Here total row is 7, so it will execute for the 7 times. Then we have another two for loops inside the outer for loop. So what is the use of these two for loops? So the first for loop is related to printing the space. If we see, so initially we are printing space first and then we are printing this number. Here also we are printing one space, two spaces, then number, then one space and then number, and spaces are there. So we will first use this for loop to print the space. So here we have taken integer k is equal to 0, k less than space, k plus plus, and system dot out dot print, and here it will be space. Okay, so for the first iteration what will happen is initially its value of space is 3. So this for loop will execute for 3 times and it will print 3 spaces. And then after that what will happen in this for loop, what will happen, it will print the digit. So digit is 1. So here int j is equal to 0, j less than num, j plus plus. So num is 1, and this system dot out dot print digit is also 1. So this for loop will execute only once and it will print this 1. Okay, so after that what will happen, a system dot out dot println, this will change the row from 1 to 2. And here we have one of the important condition, so if else condition. So what it says is when I is less than or equal to 3, which means when for these many conditions, for these first 3 rows, what we want is we want to increase the number. Initially it's 1, now we want to print 3, then we want to print 5, and then we want to print 7. So this number we are increasing by 2. So for the first 3 rows, for the first 4 rows, okay, so what we are doing is when I is less than or equal to 3, this I value, which is row, which means row value is less than or equal to 3, at that time num is equal to num plus 2. We are increasing the value by 2. Here the count is increasing by 2, so that's why num will be num plus 2, and space minus minus. Here the space is reducing. Initially space is 3, then 2, then 1, then 0. So space is reducing, that's why space minus minus. And digit plus plus. What is digit? Digit is the one that we are printing. uh, in the second row we will print 2, on the third row we are printing 3. So this digit is also increasing for each row, that's why we are using digit plus plus. Okay, so for these first 4 rows this condition, and after this first 4 rows we are reducing the number. So what we are using digit as 3, and then we are increasing the space by 1 and also reducing the num by 2. So for that what we have done is num is equal to num minus 2. This num count will reduce by 2, space will increase by 1. Here it's space 1 2 3, the space will increase by 1, and digit is also minus minus because from 4 we want 3, then we want 2, so digit is also minus minus. So this is how it will execute. Let's execute the code. So I will explain. For the first iteration I have explained. For the second iteration what will happen, now I value is 2. So what will happen is, so here we this condition is satisfied for the first row, first iteration, and the num value will become now 3, space will be a minus minus which is 2, and digit will increase from 1 to 2 again. And then for the second iteration what will happen is, this will execute two times. The space will space value is now 2, so this will execute two times, that is these two spaces. And then what will happen, this for loop will execute for three times. Num value is now 3. From 1 it will like we have done num is equal to num plus 2, which is 1 plus 2 3, so it will print a 2. Digit is also increased by 1 from 1 to 2. Now 2 will be printed 3 times. Then it will change the row, the third row, and then again this condition will be satisfied. I value is now 2, so it will be satisfied. Then again it will increase the num value by 2, which is 5. Space value will be reduced from 2 to 1, and digit is also increasing from 2 to 3. Again it will print space is equal to 1 times, then it will execute only one for the one time, and then it will execute for the 5 times. The num value is 5, so it will print 5 times 3, that is digit is 3, so it will print like that. So this is how it will work. And for the fourth iteration it will also increase, and it will print 7 times this 4 number, four digit. And again it for the for last three iterations it will reduce the num by 2 and increase the space by 1, and digit will be reduced from 4 to 3, 3 to 2, 2 to 1. So this is how it will work. So let's execute the code and check whether we have written the correct code, and it should print exactly same diamond pattern. Yeah, this is working. So yeah, so this is how we can print this particular pattern. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.